So this morning I started meditating and some really incredible insights came up, and I wanted to share one of them with you because the moment it popped into my mind, I just felt this knowing come over my body, confirming that it was true. So I'm just gonna read from my journal. I have my journal right here in front of me. And so I'm gonna read kind of what I wrote. I haven't actually read it back to myself, so hopefully nothing too crazy is in here. I don't think it is. I said, it also occurred to me today that every time I speak or even think, I am speaking to God. Everyone I interact with, think about, or talk about, every time I think in my head or think or talk about myself, I am speaking to God about God. We are all God. What a perspective shift that is. Doesn't it? I'm like, wait, should I pause? Like, should I pause for effect? Like, that's the concept. The concept is that we are all God. Like, we are all extensions of God. In the beginning of my meditation, I was said the F word in my head, which I'm not opposed to cussing. I don't think it's a big deal, but in my head, I said the F word. And for some reason I thought like, oh, I should not be cussing in the presence of God, right? So I said in my head, I thought, I'm sorry, God, forgive me for cussing. And then I thought, well, you're not talking to God. But then immediately after that thought, another thought came in and said, yes, you are. Ooh, that just like gave me little butterflies in my stomach. I thought to myself, yes, you are talking to God. Maybe you're intentionally talking to yourself, like you're thinking to yourself, but you are God. And it seems like such a small little thing, and it really was a small thing, but it really just like struck me. I have decided long ago that I believe that I am God, that everybody in this world is God, that we're all extensions of God, we're all expressions of God, that all living things are extensions and expressions of God, that even the things that are man-made, created by man, are also extensions and expressions of God because they are God channeling through us. Like, this is a belief that I have chosen, I guess, or has resonated with me for a very long time, but I don't think that I ever actually thought about what that really means in a real tangible way. I'll continue with my journaling. What a perspective shift that is. Doesn't it immediately call into question all of my thoughts and words? Doesn't it make me think twice about what I say to and about or think about others and even myself? Doesn't it automatically make me kinder, more understanding, and less judgmental? And what I meant was like, not that it makes me kinder to think that. Doesn't it immediately make me treat others more kindly, speak more highly and kindly of others? And don't get me wrong, I'm not the type of person to really speak ill of people. I have been in the past for sure. I'm not saying that I'm totally above that, but like I have already been deep in the process of watching what I say and do and how I treat others and being more conscious of that. So it's not like I'm just like, talking massive crap about people in my head, but I really struggled with how I spoke to myself, the things that I would say about myself. Things that you say about people and think about people, right? They reflected an energy, a frequency that you are essentially sending to those people. A lot of people are actually defenseless to those things. And when you speak those things about people, you are sending a negative energy to them and can affect people like that. So let me continue. I said, doesn't it cause me to pause, even consider how I treat myself and others? Do I want to speak ill of God? No. Not because I want favor, but because of the tremendous amount of love, respect, and gratitude I feel for God. I always want God to know how I feel about them. I want to show them. And what better way to show God than to be intentional with each word I speak and think, with every action I take? To move from a place of gratitude, reverence, and love for God. How might that change the way I show up? And then I listed all of these different things that I think would change in my life. And some of them are things that as I was writing them down, I realized like, okay, I've already started doing that, or I already do that. Let me just read some. I'll read them to you. 1, I would stop shaming myself for my choices and ways of being. 2, I would stop judging others for where they are in their path and how they show up in life. Now, again, some of these are nuanced too, right? Like, this is not to say that I'm just going to accept any and all behavior from everybody. That's not what I'm saying at all. It's more so of just recognizing that everybody is, yes, spirit and yes, God, but they're also spirit having a human experience. Like, we're all humans as well as being an extension of God. So that means that we are all subject to our experiences, our traumas, the way people have made us feel, the experiences that we had in our childhood, which shapes us in so many ways, and a lot of times leads most of us to become very unconscious of our own thoughts and beliefs, right? I'm an example of this. I mean, everybody, for the most part, is an example of this. Very, 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 very few people were raised in an environment of total safety, no struggle, no difficult experience, no trauma. Most of us have things that had, I don't want to say a negative effect, but a very pivotal effect on us. And it affects how we show up in our lives as adults. So even those that are hurting us, even the people that are making choices that we don't agree with, that we know are not for their best and highest path and their highest good, I still want to remember that these are humans on their own journey, on their own path with their own lessons. And so instead of judging who they are as a soul, I'm going to remember that they're still learning. And so again, that doesn't mean that I'm going to accept any and all behavior from people. I still need to make a judgment about my relationship with them, but I don't need to judge them as a soul. That's not my job. The next one, I would take the very best care of myself and my body. And this one I love because it goes back to recognizing like I am God. And if I was responsible for taking care of God, how would I do that? And why am I not taking care of my body and myself in that same way? And it also makes me smile because last year I actually decided to get more serious about my health. And I started from a place of like, well, I want to be aesthetically good looking, which is so funny because I think I was already aesthetically good looking. I just wanted to be smaller. And now that I'm walking into 2026, my intention with my health and wellness is more so about health and wellness. I have these goals that are more about creating a happy, healthy, functional way of being well into my later years of life, God willing, I make it to them, rather than looking a certain way. And so I'm recognizing that the decisions that I'm making and the habits that I'm actively working on integrating into my life are reflective of me knowing that my body is a temple. It is a reflection of God. And because I am God, I need to be taking care of myself the way that I would take care of God if I were responsible for God's well-being. The next one, I would express my love for those in my life freely and openly, unconditionally. That's a good one too. This next one really, I don't know when I started crying, but I really started crying. Like this brought up a lot of emotion in me. I said, I would listen more intently when others speak, not to respond, but to honor their voice and experience. A lot of times when we are operating from survival mode, and even beyond survival mode, even when we're in a space of thriving, right? Sometimes we can be so locked into our own experience and having tunnel vision on what's right in front of us that it can almost create, I don't want to say a selfish approach because I don't necessarily believe that being selfish is wrong. I think that it's necessary depending on how you go about it. But we can be so caught up in our own minds that we, again, forget that there are also other people on this earth having an experience, and we can learn something from just about everybody that we come into contact with, even the people who don't seem like they have anything to teach us. So I think that if I, again, was moving from this space of knowing that everybody I interact with is God, I would listen more intently when they speak. Again, not to have something to say back, just so that I could really take in the blessing and honor that it is to be having this moment with this person. And that's it. I love that. And that really made me just cry. Because I just, again, that really put it into perspective. And I was just thinking of different people in my life and thinking about wow, what a privilege and honor it is to be a player and character in their lives and to witness them. The next one I said was, I would allow myself to cry in reverence for the things created in this world. Because again, like I said, I think a little bit earlier, even the man-made things are an extension and expression of God. That's not to say that everything man has created is quote unquote good or for the highest good of humanity. No, There are some things that I would argue that I'm like, I don't know I think maybe as a society, we might be better off without that thing. But even still, I'm recognizing that things that I don't necessarily agree with or think aren't for the highest good of humanity, those are still expressions of God. And again, I know that some of these things that I'm talking about, the thinking mind is probably going to come in and say, let me touch on that. Let me come back to that. Next one, I would travel so I could see all that God has created. Like, I just want to meet people of different cultures. I want to eat the food that they eat. I want to live in the spaces that they live in. I want to see the terrain, the earth, the way that God has created it, and just feel the reverence for that. I said I would make time for my pets, to love on them and take better care of them. I said I would simply listen more, but just like listening in general, just listening to life, listening to what God, what the universe is saying to me through all of these different things that are going on around me. Everything is a reflection of us. Like, our experience of everything around us is a reflection of us. The meaning that we discern from different experiences is a reflection of us. The world, our experience is constantly mirroring ourselves back to us. I want to listen to that. Like, I want to know more about myself. I want to know more about myself on a deep subconscious level. I want to see how I want to see how freaking awesome I am. And I want to see how freaking awesome other people are. And I want to see how loved I am. And I want to show how much love I feel for others. Like, I want to have this incredible life experience. That's what I want. And I deserve to have that. And I wholeheartedly believe that that God, the universe, is telling me everything that I need to know and revealing to me every step that I can take to live this beautiful blessing of a life. And instead of trying to figure it out all the time, I just need to be listening. And from listening, I'm going to hear everything that I need to know and want to know. I said I would diligently practice quiet observance of myself, others, and the world. And that kind of goes along with listening, but also just like observing objectively, right? Rather than making judgments all the time, judging myself for, the things that I'm doing, saying, and feeling, judging myself for the experience that I'm having or where I'm at in my life. Like, I want to observe that as opposed to judging it. Same thing with others. I want to get more into a space of just observing rather than jumping to conclusions about anything. I said I would hug more people. I would hug the people in my life more, just to have that moment of intimacy with them, to let them know I see you and I love you and I value you and I'm grateful that you're here in whatever way, shape, or form or role that you're playing in my life. I'm just grateful that you're here playing this role. I'm grateful that it's you playing this role. I also said I would let myself live. I would stop stressing so much about trying to be a certain way or live a certain life. I would just let myself be and let my life unfold. And that's, again, not to say that I would do it very passively. I would still do it consciously and intentionally, but I would stop trying to make myself be a certain way. I said I would receive the love and blessings others offer me because I know that they are also the embodiment of God. Looking at, the things that people are giving me and wanting to offer me, things, blessings, love, all of it, as God offering those blessings, love, things to God. And by me receiving those things from them, it's me receiving from God. Yeah. Enough said. I would allow myself to ride the waves of my existence. Very similar to I would let myself live and practicing quiet observance of myself. And I said I would stop fighting life. Yeah. And that actually came up yesterday when I was editing my other YouTube video, was that just oh my gosh, when I'm ready to stop fighting life, then there will no longer be a need to fight life. When I'm ready to stop swimming upstream, I will allow myself and be able to swim downstream. I won't even have to, and that's the thing is when you're going with the flow of the stream, you don't even have to really swim. You just kind of flow with it. I literally got this vision of myself in my life. I actually felt in my body how it would feel to just be flowing with life and flowing with myself. It felt so light and free that it actually I said, I stopped editing and just sat there for a moment and was really trying to hold it in my body. And actually, I'm really feeling it kind of in my heart space right now and in my upper back. I literally in that moment felt the contrast between the two. I felt how it feels to be trying to like manhandle my life into what I want it to be versus flowing with myself and with my life and allowing it to become in alignment. My life and my way of being come into alignment together to operate in this very beautiful, divine, and creative flow. And I feel like I'm struggling to articulate that because it's still something very new. And that's the first time that has ever happened to me where I have felt how it would feel to just be flowing with life. And in that moment, I felt like, wow, life would be so much easier. Like it would feel so much better and it would be so much easier. Instead of trying to make myself fit into a life that I think I should be living, I need to alter my life to fit how I naturally am. And I know a lot of people are going to argue with that and say like, there is personal growth and we need to be growing and evolving and being better and da-da-da-da. And sure. On some level, yeah, I agree. But the point is, I see now so much value in who I am and expressing who I authentically am that I don't need to be trying to change myself to fit life. I need to be changing my life to fit me. And when I do that, it's just going to flow so much better. And I'm going to be a much better person and I'm going to show up in the world with so much more to offer and give, playing the role that I was meant to play rather than trying to force myself to be what I think I'm supposed to be. I already am everything that God intended me to be. And again, that doesn't mean that I'm perfect, but I am on a soul level divinely perfect. I am God. You are God, right? We are divinely perfect on a soul level, and we're here to expand and grow and learn and to have a life experience. And so I want to treat myself the way that I would treat God. And again, it's not that I'm saying I'm the God. I'm the creator of the universe, not at all. I'm saying that I am an extension of the creator of the universe, right? Just like how I'm an extension of my father and my mother. I was literally created in their image. Like I literally look like them. The same is true about God. So I need to treat myself that way. How would I treat Jesus if I was responsible for Jesus, knowing who Jesus was? That's exactly what I need to be doing with myself. I need to be treating myself, knowing who I am, an extension of God. And I need to be treating everybody else in my life and the animals in my life and even the things in my life for what they are, extensions of God, expressions and evidence of God everywhere. It's everywhere. God is literally everywhere. I know people are going to hear this and be thinking, yeah, but what about the people who do harm? What about the people who hurt people? I really want to get deeper into this belief that I have about God and who we all are that has led me to, again, these revelations about how I would show up differently if I was really embodying this knowing and belief, because it is very nuanced. Even as I say these things, there's this voice in the back of my head that is asking, is this true about all of the people doing horrible things in the world? Are they God? Is that God doing these horrible things? And the short answer, I'm going to say yes, even though a lot of people might come for me for that. Because again, it goes back to the belief that I have, right? That we're all God pushed out. We're all extensions and expressions of God, and God is literally learning and expanding through our experiences. And we're all playing very specific and curated roles in each other's lives to drive that learning, expansion, and growing forward, to create the contrast, right? Just like I said, how in that moment I felt how it would feel to be flowing with life. It revealed to me the contrast between flowing with life and how I've been living, which is going against the current flow of life. I'm able to experience that contrast, right? Because I've experienced both. It's the same thing. We know what is good because we've experienced what is bad. Some of it is morally taught to us, but a lot of what we know and feel and stand on comes from what we've experienced. Life is contrast, right? Yin, yang, dark, light. We know what day is because we know what night is, and vice versa. Abraham Hicks talks a lot about this. A lot of people talk a lot about this. This is not a new concept that I came up with all on my own, but it can be something that's really, really triggering for people. And this belief, like I said, I came to this belief, this knowing a long time ago, and it has taken me, I don't know how long ago this concept came to me, but it's something that I now stand by on a subconscious level because of the years that I've been turning it over in my mind and playing with the concept and the idea. And that's why now I can feel the way that I feel. to the point where I'm journaling and writing about it, and tears are just like pouring out of me, and I'm just crying out of forgiveness for myself and gratitude for God and sadness for the way that I've treated myself and treated others in the past, but also gratitude for this clarity and understanding and acceptance for the fact that I'm a human and I'm learning and evolving and growing, and I'm not meant to be perfect. I need to learn. That's what I'm here for, right? So part of me is like, why am I even sharing this with you? Because it's very rooted in, again, my own belief, and I know that it can be very triggering to people. So if it does trigger you, I would encourage you to maybe just like go journal about why it triggers you. Not because, oh, I'm right and you're wrong, but just because maybe the fact that it's triggering you is showing something to you that you can explore and understand more about yourself. If this resonates with you, I would love to hear your thoughts, like down below in the comments. If you want me to create a video where I'm just talking about this belief and where it comes from, and maybe some sources and things that you can listen to and explore, I will definitely do that. Let me know again down in the comments. And thank you for holding space for me. And I hope that this speaks to you in some way that drives your own plot and growth and journey forward.